Hey guys, this is MN from MN Productions. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we have an Imperial Army video to go over. This army consists of over 90 minifigures and over 20 vehicles. So if you're ready for a wild time, subscribe and let's jump into the video. Also, this is technically my First Order army as well as my Imperial army, because it doesn't really make any sense to display them separately since they're both pretty much the same thing. Alright, starting off with these figs in the front, we have this Emperor Palpatine minifigure. This is the Emperor Palpatine from the Transformation set that came out a few years ago. Then we have this Kylo Ren fig that, I believe this came in a microfighter. Then we have this Darth Vader. This is the Darth Vader from the 1999 Darth Vader's TIE Fighter and Y-Wing set. Next, in this sort of second row, we have two of the Royal Guards that came out in the Battle Pack a really long time ago. And then we have an Imperial officer that came with the TIE Fighter set. Next, to start out the more army portion of the minifigures, we have two of the older style stormtroopers. And behind those are two of the Imperial hover tank pilots from the Imperial hover tank. And then we have three of the Imperial AT-AT pilots. Cringe alert for you guys, there's actually a brick stuck underneath this guy's helmet. And then his helmet was glued on so that you can't even pull his head off. Whatever little kid owned this minifigure before me probably thought he was being really funny, but it just really grinds my gears. Then we have an entire row of the older style stormtroopers. And then next to those we have a row of the more animated style from the Rebels set wave that came out. And behind those we have the, I don't know if this is the original Sand Trooper or who this guy is exactly, but he came in one of the Luke's Land Speeder sets, and he is missing his backpack right now, I think. I'll have to find that. Then we have two of the OG Scout Troopers, and then behind those is this thing called the Mortar Stormtrooper. He's one of my favorite figs. He came in the Imperial Marauder set. Then behind him we have three of the disgusting helmet mold Stormtroopers. I mean, just look at these. Like, they're awful. I am not a fan of those. Behind those we have another Imperial Sand Trooper. Next, we have a row entirely of Imperial Scout Troopers. The newest of these being this guy, who I believe, oh, my bad. It's a woman. She came in the Imperial Snow Troopers Battle Pack, I think it's called. Next, we have one of the more pricier figs of the collection. We have the Imperial Shore Trooper. Behind that, we have 5 of the Imperial Snow Troopers, the newer style. And then we have Speeder Bike Pilot from the Rebels set wave. Then we have 4 of the original Snow Troopers, and then behind those are 3 of the First Order Flamethrower Troopers. And I actually really like this fig. This is one of my favorite figs of the army, in my personal opinion. Next row is the row mostly of the First Order Stormtroopers, and I believe all of these I got from the First Order Battle Pack that came out years ago. Behind all those is just a First Order Snowtrooper. After those we have an Imperial Shadow Trooper. This one came out in the Imperial Dropship back there. Behind that we have 2 not so shadowy looking Shadow Troopers. These are the newer variant. Behind them, I believe these are called like Imperial Techs. You always see them on like the bridges of Star Destroyers and stuff. And then behind those guys is a First Order Walker Driver. Then we have a row mostly of Imperial pilots. Like, all these guys came from various different sets. This one in the front came from the Imperial transport right here. We have 2 AT-ST pilots. In the back, we have a crispy Anakin minifigure just because I needed to find something to fill its space, and that was the only minifigure I could think of. Then we have 2 of the Shadow Guards from the Shadow Troopers Battle Pack, I believe it was called. And behind those are 3 of the First Order officers. Behind those are 2 more Darth Vaders, pretty much just for space filling. And this one right here is the 20th anniversary Darth Vader that has the printing on the back. Moving on to the final row of the minifigures, we have this row of bounty hunters. Now, you guys can argue with me that these aren't necessarily Imperials, but they were all hired by Darth Vader at some point, and I think they look really cool just to kind of give the army a little bit of variety. So in the front we have the OG Boba Fett minifigure, which I actually just purchased this recently, and it's probably my favorite minifigure of the collection, not gonna lie. Then behind him we have Dengar, Bosk, Forlom or something like that. Is it IG-88, I think? And then behind him is just another Boba Fett minifigure for space filling. And then lastly is an Imperial astromech droid. Now moving on to the sets, we have about 16 sets up on the table currently. I have tons more than this in like battle pack vehicles and microfighters back in my drawers that I didn't really want to cram into this table, and honestly they're not that important anyway and nobody really cares. Starting off we have this V-Wing, and I was debating on this because I had put this in my Clone Army video a few years ago, but I think it is actually more of an Imperial ship because it was like the first variant of the TIE Fighter, so I think this one works in this collection too. Then we have the TIE Striker from Rogue One. This is a really cool set, and it's actually a lot bigger in person than you would think it would be, like when you were looking at it on the shelves years ago. And then next to that we have a hover tank, also from Rogue One. Behind those is the AT-DP, which is scaled way too big than what it is actually in the Rebels show. Then we have 2 of the AT-STs. Then in the back is the backbone of the entire Imperial Army, the Imperial TIE Fighter from 2012. Next to it we have the Imperial dropship right here. And then we have my favorite set of the collection, the Imperial landing craft. Behind that is one of the coolest sets of the collection, but also one of the most annoying. This thing is the Imperial bunker on Endor, and it looks really cool, but it's just horribly designed. These panels just like pop out all the time. This middle section right here falls out because it's only held in by like 2 1x2 tiles. And all around the base is just really flimsy and just not well built, but as long as it's sitting on a shelf, it looks really cool. Up front we have 4 of these battle pack builds. Behind those is the Darth Vader's TIE Fighter from 1999. Finally, for the last vehicle, we have the Imperial Marauder. And yes guys, the army is not complete without an AT-AT, which I do not have right now, but they're just really expensive, and I can't help that I'm just a very cheap person. With that, I gotta say thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel where you guys will see similar content to this video. Go down below and comment what your favorite part of the collection video was, and if you guys have an Imperial army. With that, again, I gotta say thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.